Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there is not. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around nationhood and development, we have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public service and accountability.
Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to make their political decisions, constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us now, there is nothing, we are starving. Tinubu should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join O꞉yemi Akinyode as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial. Mainland 98.3 FM will welcome you roommates as we discuss the situations.
Oga Police, no worry, I see you. You know you can do the right thing, right? You know you can do without that bribe. You know you don't even have to harass that young man because we understand that the pay is not due. We feel your friends, just as it is boldly stated across the various police stations nationwide. And from mainland 98.3 FM, we
studio time checkers out of Lagos entirely, but just happen have all of the time still keeping it was more like Nigerian politics. There were local government elections in some states over the weekend. Benue State, for instance, the All Progressive Congress cleared all of the local government and all of the councillorship position in Benue State. In Rivers State, it's an election that had a hit. I remember in November last year, specifically on the 11th of November, that had the battle, the part of sworn enemies. See, I have a compilation on the show today, and it is different statements or speeches of the immediate past governor of Rivers State, talking about Nyesom the current FCT minister. It's a compilation of the things he said when he was the governor for the first time, how he became chairman, how his name was removed until he reached out to the wife of the former president, that is Madam Dame Patience Jonathan, how he took her, contribution for his name to get back into the local government chairman's list, how he wouldn't have been anything without our contribution in his political journey, how he became governor, his statement when he was running for second term, when he was leaving office, when he was pulling down his successor, which is he was a minister, two-term governor of a state, and currently is a serving minister as well. So you look at how far he's come within a very short period of time, maybe 15-20 years. He's been around the political space of Rivers State. But then you're looking at Governor Sim Fubara. I mean, relatively unknown until he got into the mix, and then it became clear that he was going to be the anointed candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 governorship election in the state. And the entire campaign process, how he was always, with Nyesom Wike, and Wike was almost the one campaigning, doing the talking, and Fubara was just there calm. He won the election, got into the mix, and almost immediately he got sworn in. But he just got a whole lot of issues. A state that sat on the budget, that the House of Assembly sat on the budget, the same day they went through the budget, the same day they approved the budget, the following day the project was presented by the governor again for ratification. It's just been a whole lot. The same state that had the State House of Assembly bombed overnight, and then they start sitting in the House of one of the halls in the state governor's state government house. A whole lot of issues in respect to that. A state also that had candidates of a political party move to another political party about 72 hours to the election. A state faction of the House of Assembly that has about 26 members are also from another party. It's just Rivers State in its glory. And the state had never been shy away from political conversations that has holes on their ranks and their wings. Where exactly are those people right now? So it's a whole lot of issues that happen in Rivers State, and all of that ended day before yesterday, specifically on the 4th of October, where the governorship election. All through the week of the election, there were talks of, oh, well, this is going to happen on the eve. The election was actually a state. In fact, no matter what happened, the election almost at the same. Newest bride in town. It is not NMP. I think we should start with that of the current governor in the state. I take a listen to what the governor has to say, and then what would come back would also play, that of Sᴛᴜᴛᴇʀ. Then Dr. Tᴜɪᴛᴛᴇʀ is my guest on the show today. We break everything down. We look at the burden of leadership, especially when it comes to accountability and public trust. And that was what Fubara is hanging on to right now. He said they're going to set up a panel of inquiry to look at the model of governance in Rivers State for the past 8 years. You're welcome to the show. It's mainland 98.3 FM. It's the situation. We get to do this every Mondays to Fridays from 4 to 5:30 p.m. My name is O꽌yemi Akinike. In case you're just joining us for the first time, on the turn of 5 o'clock, we'll open the phone lines for you to join in. Boy, there's a lot on the show today. We'll focus on Rivers State at the aftermath of the local government election that felt like a governorship election. It almost felt like the state is in war. 3 local government have been set ablaze as we speak. I'll be right back. The first voice will be that of the governor of the state. He's talking tough, or perhaps he's learning faster than a lot of people expected. Stick with us. I'll be right back.
Any man who cocks a gun, shoots it, and maybe because of the gun is in safety, the bullet didn't come out, has already. So if we have a way to bury that person or the group of person, we will bury them. The beginning of a new era. I had a reason for being patient. It is because I know that we are all from one family. As it is today, in the local parliament, they said the jungle has matured. We will be setting a panel of inquiry to investigate the affair of governance. So brace up, brace up. I'm not going back on it. We have to move forward. And moving forward, if it means taking decisions that is going to hurt anybody, to hell with them. Maybe where they are telling them nothing will happen, nothing will happen. It's happening here live. God is with us. Don't allow anybody to deceive you.
Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there is not. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around nationhood and development, we have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public service and accountability.
Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to make their political decisions, constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us now, there is nothing, we are starving. Tinubu should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join O꽌yemi Akinode as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial, mainland 98.3 FM. We'll welcome you roommates as we discuss the situations.
Thank you very much for staying with us. Now we get into the conversation proper. The voice you just heard is the voice of the current governor of Rivers State, Governor Fubara, talking tough, saying that, you know what, if someone attempted to shoot you and then the gun did not come off, or probably it was on safety, the person had already shot you. So what do you do to those people? You crush them, you bury them. It's talking tough. I mean, from a governor a few months ago that looks, like his body language is kind of looking like someone that is tired, does not have a control of what the things are. But look at how events had unfolded in the last few months in Rivers State. I mean, it's a whole lot. Dr. Tᴜɪ̀mᴜ has been on the line. I deliberately kept him there so that he already has an idea of what the conversation is going to be today. Dr. Tᴜɪ̀mᴜ, good evening and welcome to the show. It's been a while we had you join us last.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's an interesting time in Nigeria indeed. We're seeing the evolution of the political landscape, how everything is going to unfold. This Rivers experience is something we have to all talk about. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Let's get started.
Yeah, let's get it on. I'm sure you heard the sound bite I played, and that was the voice of Governor Fubara talking tough. A lot of people had also said his actions in the last few months had shown a man that has learned on the job, and he hasn't just learned on the job, he's learned really fast to the point that he could call the bluff of his predecessor. He could also say that, you know what, all of the candidates of my party can go to another party to contest the election. If anybody is telling them at the top that nothing will happen, tell them that a lot is happening right now and they should come and see it. What is your own impression about Governor Fubara that was sworn in about over a year ago, and the Governor Fubara that seems to be taking charge of things in Rivers as we speak?
Let us be factual. I empathize with Governor Fubara, because at the end of the day, this is reputation. It is his name. Whatever happens in will help you to run the government. If he wants to help you to run the government, that is a problem. If it's a problem like that, all the system has to deliver dividend of democracy, how to ensure that the people get what it means to be a governor. All of us are looking for a stage, a situation to be able to showcase what we know. And in reality, if you're a person who is passionate about showcasing what you know, and you find a big obstacle despite your power, you're trying to concede, and this is not moving on, it has to take the grace of God for you not to stand up and stand firm. And if I remember, it was the ex governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Fashola, who said, "May your loyalty not be tested."
That was at the point of his screening as a minister designate.
Yeah, said, "May your loyalty not be tested." When the loyalty is tested, and you have to face real challenges, you have to decide, am I just going to jump into deep blue sea, or do I retreat and cower and just remain and allow the situation to be as usual?